My name is Christian Ray, and I moved halfway across the country to build a blacksmithing forge from the ground up so that I could be part of the centuries-old tradition of making beautiful and lethal masterpieces out of metal. It hasn't been easy, but here we are. This is Ronin Blades.
Hello viewers, welcome back to Ronin Blades. Today I'm going to show you something very special. This is Bent Beak. He's a spiked throwing tomahawk, and more importantly, this is the first thing I ever made using blacksmithing. Reason why I'm showing you him today is because I'm going to show you how I made it. Bent Beak started out as one of these. This is just a ball-peen hammer I got at Home Depot. But today I'm going to show you how to turn this into this. Let's get started.
First, I remove the handle from the hammer. Then I remove all the blue paint from the sides, as the heat from the forge might turn it into a not very safe to breathe in kind of gas. And then in the forge it goes. The first thing I have to do is drift the eye of the hammer to a tomahawk shape. Drifting involves forcing the already existing eye in the hammer to the shape we need. This is done by hitting it through the eye and then hitting it on the sides to match the shape exactly. Drifting can be a somewhat frustrating process. It feels like I'm doing nothing at all as the shape of the hammer isn't actually changing. I have to force myself to keep drifting even though I feel like I'm doing nothing. Typically, drifting is done with a swage block, which I don't have, so I have to utilize the different parts of my anvil to make sure the eye is drifted properly. Soon, I have it all drifted and the eye is properly hit to shape, which means I can finally move on to the rough forging of our tomahawk blade. I start by flattening the ball-peen hammer head. I'm careful to keep the eye off the anvil because if I hit it, I'll have to re-drift. Without a hydraulic press, I have to be very careful about how I hit the metal. I also have to be smart about which parts of the anvil I use and where on the metal I hit. Hitting the bottom of the blade puts in the tomahawk shape and minimizes the amount of energy I have to use. Without power tools, using only one side of the hammer can take a lot of energy, so I use the peen of my hammer to get the desired shape. Using both sides of our 3-pound rolling pin against our 1500 degree pie dough is exactly how this process was done before power equipment and before the invention of Hardy tools. I use the peen to get the desired shape, and I utilize the horn of the anvil to finalize the shape of our tomahawk head. I then begin work on the peen of our tomahawk. In order to make this secondary peen axe head, I have to do the arduous task of repeating everything I've already done on a smaller scale. However, it's at this moment that I notice that neither of my blades are centered and the eye looks terrible. I use a lighter hammer to re-drift and do everything I can to get our blades centered again. I take my own advice and I push through. I use our square-headed hammer to pound down any deep hammer marks and I use the peening process to get our final desired shape, and our tomahawk is forged.
And here it is. I like it. It's got a nice sleek design. I like the extra head. I think it's gonna fly pretty well. So next time we're jumping on the grinder, we're gonna get our profile done, some pre-grinding with my even heat treat. I'll see you then.
Ha! The fun one.